To be a loner is to prefer not to associate with others, and to be lonely is to be sad because one has no friends or company. Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Shola. Born and raised in Nigeria. I've been living in the US for a little over 10 years now. If you're a faithful subscriber of mine, you know that I have not posted in a while. You know, just a lot has been going on in my life, so I just had to take a step back and a break from YouTube, and it's just a lot been going on. So I haven't been motivated to post any hair tutorials or any hair hacks, DIYs, and nothing like that. So my next few videos are gonna be of me just talking, just speaking, personal experiences, hoping I can help other people out there, sharing my stories, sharing my experiences. Today's topic is about being a loner raised in an African household. I'm gonna start this topic by giving some definition and differentiate between being a loner and being lonely. To be a loner is to prefer not to associate with others, and to be lonely is to be sad because one has no friends or company. I don't have friends, but I do have associates and acquaintances, and I'm not sad about that. Actually, I'm very happy about that. I don't have a group of friends or anything like that, but I've come to terms with it, and I'm absolutely fine with that. I am in fact a loner because I prefer not to associate with others. And this is not something I just decided one day I'm going to not associate with others. It's literally something I am born with. And for the longest time, I always thought there was something wrong with me because I was always compared to other people and judged and guilted into doing things I didn't want to do. So being a loner raised in an African household makes it 10 times worse, because I do believe that African parents or family members have a hard time accepting or knowing or understanding what it is like to be a loner, and they think that something is wrong with you. So for the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me. I was always compared to other bubbly, extroverted, outgoing people. I was always compared to them, and I would always hear things like, why can't you be more like this person? Also, something I wanted to mention is the fact that a loner comes with extreme independence, and this is something you can't help. But that's what comes with being a loner. So I would always hear things like, you think you can figure everything out yourself, you're always gonna need people, or why do you act like you don't need anyone in this world? You're always gonna need people. No man is an island. You're always gonna need people. You don't know it all. You can't get anywhere in this life without needing people. And I always and constantly would hear things like that as a young girl, and I would just wonder, what are you talking about? What exactly are you talking about? But like I said, being a loner comes with extreme independence, and this is something you can't help. And as I grew up and started going to therapy, this is something I realized, that some people might hate the fact that you're extremely independent at a young age, and it could be a threat to some parents' ego. This is something I really learned in therapy, and therapy is something that I also recommend, and it puts things into perspective for me. So growing up, I always wanted to be alone. I always wanted to be in my room. When visitors would come over, I would just always say hi and go back to my room. I didn't want to sit out there and have conversation or laugh, not because I was sad about anything. I just really loved my solitude, and I was around people that had a hard time accepting it. I would always be forced to come out and talk and have small talks with people. I'm not that person. So I lived my childhood being eager. I lived my childhood as a dependence, being eager to be of age so I can finally get away. That's how I lived my life, and until I finally was of age to live alone, and this was around age 17, 18 when I went to college, and I felt a sigh of relief. I had a sigh of relief that I could finally be myself. There's nothing wrong with being a loner. If you're born a loner, I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with that. Being a loner comes with extreme independence, which a lot of people aren't privileged to have or even experience. I'm the kind of person that 9.8 times out of 10 I'll figure it out myself, and this is not to brag, or this is not because I go to the extreme. This is something that just comes naturally with me, and over time I've learned to observe that in myself and accept it, and then invest in research and therapy to make sure that there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I'm absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with me. And there are people like me out there, so I'm not the only one. Spending time and being in love with my solitude has helped me develop an extremely strong intuition, which I believe is a superpower of mine. Not everyone has intuition or know how to figure out their intuition, but as a loner and as someone that spends so much time with myself, I'm always guided by my intuition, which is a big deal, and a lot of people don't realize it's a big deal. It's a big deal, you know? So if you're watching this video and you're that kind of a person, I'm here to let you know that you're kind of a big deal, you know? You're a big deal. You have really strong intuition. You're very independent. You love spending time alone. How can you even, you know, invest in a partner or relationship if you don't know yourself, or if you haven't spent time with yourself to know your strengths and your flaws? How? I grew up in a household where it's hard to accept my personality. It's almost like something that's unheard of. It's almost like you being a loner means you're disrespectful. It was almost like disrespectful for you to be a loner, for you to want to spend time with yourself or just enjoy your solitude. It's almost like you're ungrateful. How dare you want to spend time with yourself? How dare you want to get to know yourself better? How dare you enjoy your solitude? And it was very frustrating, because again, I was young and I was a dependent. So if you're thinking, so what advice would you give to someone that's a dependent and a loner? Start by doing your research. Google is free. That's what I did. A lot of times that's what I use, Google. And then Google will lead me to other things like articles, books, podcasts, which I would later go find in libraries, or, you know, go to Starbucks, little money I had, or buy books and just read about it. And I would just read a lot. That's the thing. And reading is just not reading books. So for example, you find a book, then you go to the reviews and read a lot of the reviews. Those are very helpful too. And then you'll notice that it's best for you to learn how to block the people that compare you to others. It's hard. It's easier said than done, but it can be done until you're of age. Living my childhood just, you know, waiting to be of age so I can get out was tough. It was extremely, extremely tough. It was tough. But there are better days ahead. That's all I can say. There are better days ahead. You know, I would love to chat with some people down in the comments below, and, you know, especially if an African is watching this, I want to know what your experience is like. You know, talk to me down below. Like I said, as an adult now, I've invested in therapy, which is something I couldn't or would not have been able to do as a dependent in my teens, in my early, in my teenage years, or over my extremely early 20s. But as an adult and growing and knowing that there's nothing wrong with me, after reading books, investing in books, I've been able to invest in therapy where things have been put into perspective for me, and now I firmly believe that nothing is wrong with me as a loner. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you get to spend time with yourself. Not a lot of people get to do that. I know a lot of people that actually run away from themselves, especially when they're going through hard times and just want to bask in, like, you know, parties and gatherings and things like that, just to mask away whatever you're going through or the pain you're going through. But in order to get through what you're going through, you're going to have to face the fact that you need to be alone to get through, to heal. But as a loner, it comes to you naturally already to be alone. So the healing process is not bad for you. So look at that as a strength. You know, look at that as being 10 steps ahead. You get to spend time with yourself. Even after a terrible breakup, you're fine with spending time alone with yourself. Even in a relationship, you don't lose yourself because it's necessary for you to spend time with yourself. So you look for partners that are okay with giving you space. So my 10-year-old self, I'm here to let you know that there was nothing wrong with you. You don't need to be like other people that are outgoing, outspoken, extroverted. You don't need to be like them. You are fine the way you are. You get to spend time with yourself. You get to love on yourself. You get to explore your creativity and talent in silence. You get to tune out the world and just focus on yourself and the things you're able to do. It's a win. That is a superpower in itself that a lot of people don't realize. You'll find the people that accept you for who you are. It's okay not to have a group of friends. I mean, it's nice, but it's okay. You know, I'm here to tell you that it's okay not to have a group of friends. You're going to come across associates, acquaintances that are going to look out for you and accept you for who you are. And the fact that you're a loner and an independent, quiet, reserved, observative person doesn't mean you don't need people. Of course we all need people in this world. If we don't need people, then I wouldn't invest in therapy. I needed my therapist to help me. I wouldn't invest in books because I needed the author of the book to help me to get through what I'm going through. You know, I've met amazing people that have helped me, and I've been able to help people too. So just because you're a quiet, reserved, loner, observative person doesn't mean you don't need people. It doesn't mean you think you're better than people. You're a problem solver and 99.99% of the time you figure it out, still doesn't mean you don't need people. Just means you don't need people just as much, but you still need people. And you know, with your intuition, you know when it's right to open up to people and let people help you, and you know when not to let someone bad or evil try to help you. So those are gifts. Those are superpowers. There's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. So I'm going to end this video here because my timer is going off. And, you know, let's chat in the comments down below. Are you a loner? Raised in an African household? Let me know. You know, let's talk a little down. So, thank you for watching this far. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!